Welcome on YouTube family, it's your boy Eric. I am back. So took some time off, but a lot of stuff been happening in between. Still doing my workouts though, and also still doing, still hustling. You know what I mean? Still trying to get this money. I may be doing some more Grubhub videos, DoorDash videos coming up soon, but I'll let you guys know about that. But what I want to talk to you guys today is that I am considering relocating. So a couple of things have changed with my, a couple of things are going to be changing with my family and stuff like that. So I figured, why not take the chance now and relocate? My full-time job, I am allowed to work from home. I'm considering relocating, see if I could save some money, see if I could just get a change, man, make a change outside of New York. So I live in New York, New York City in the Bronx, but in the North Bronx, closer to Westchester County. So if you don't know that area, I'm probably, by train, I'm about an hour out of New York City, like Times Square for you guys. Driving about 30-45 minutes, an hour, depending on what time you leave. So I am considering, moving, as I said, relocating. So I wanted to go over the all the places that I've been thinking about going, and kind of give you the pros and cons, and maybe you guys could chip in your advice if you have any. One of the areas I'm considering going to is Monroe, New York. So Monroe, New York is about 50 miles from where I am in the Bronx, about an hour drive. Looks to be pretty nice, and it's out of the city. You could get like a decent house there for around $300,000. The pros of that, one is the house prices is not terrible. The schools seem to be good, but one con is that the taxes are pretty high. It's roughly around $10,000 a year on taxes. So being that I have the option of working from home kind of full time, I'm like, it really wouldn't make sense to move from where I am to move there, kind of be out of the way, be more in the country, and be paying more taxes. So I quickly decided that that would be at the bottom of my list. And I said, and the weather up here as well is not that great. I don't really love the snow, and the further north you go, the more snow you're gonna get. So yeah, but that was kind of like one of the things where you're kind of scared to change. So you're thinking of, where's the closest place you could go, but still be able to come back to like your comfort zone kind of thing. So another place on that list, is very similar, is Waterbury, Connecticut. So I was thinking of going up to Waterbury, Connecticut. Up there, the pro is you could get a house for about $250,000, a decent sized house. Even new construction you could get for around $250,000 up there. But the con is the taxes is also about between $6,000 to $8,000 a year. And also the schools are bad. So from what I've seen on Great Schools, or one of these websites, those schools are getting like a 1, 2, and 3, and it's like, my son is 7 years old. I'm not trying to put him in a bad situation, you know what I mean? Like, that's my boy, so I gotta keep him right, so. But again, that was one of those low-hanging fruit where it's like, Waterbury is roughly maybe an hour and 15 minutes from where I am now. So essentially I could move, but not totally move. I could always come back and kind of come back in my comfort zone a little bit. So that's number 4 on my list. Then kind of like the drastic change, and one place that I considered was moving to Florida. And more specifically, Port St. Lucie, Florida, or even the West Palm area, but but maybe closer to Boynton Beach or Boca Raton. But of all those areas that I looked at, Port St. Lucie kind of looks a little bit better. So the pros of there is that the houses, you could get a house for $250 or less. Taxes are really low. Schools are pretty good. But the con is, one of the things that I have to consider is that if things don't work out with my full-time job, then can I get work in the area? Now, the other place on my list was Atlanta, Georgia. Years ago, like 10-15 years ago, I wanted to move down there and end up didn't because my job was going to give me a pay cut, so I didn't move. So it's always been a place that I've been considering moving and thinking about. So I was like, maybe I could go there. The kind of the pro there is that you could get a house for like $200,000, a nice house, really nice house for $200,000. You're within proximity of kind of like Atlanta, like the main downtown area, whatever. So it shouldn't be. It's probably still hard to get a job, but there are jobs available. Yeah, it's really high on my list because the weather is pretty good. Yeah, it's really nice. The only thing that I don't like about it is that for me to get that house, that $200,000 house or whatever, in a good area with good schools, I have to go a little bit, further out of the city. So now you're talking about an hour, hour and a half commute if I had to go into Atlanta for work. So I'm thinking, that may not be such a great idea. But it's still on my list, still something that I'm considering. And then last but not least, and certainly at the very, very top of my list right now, is Charlotte, North Carolina. So I'll tell you why Charlotte. So one, you could get a house for $200,000. The taxes are about $2,000 to $3,000 a year. Three, the area that I'm interested in right now, I'm looking north of Charlotte. Those are the areas that I like Huntersville, the Huntersville area, and I believe Highland Creek, kind of like all that area, like just north of Uptown. Those are the areas that I really like, and you could get a house, as I said, in the mid 200s that is pretty nice and in a pretty good school district. Driving into downtown Charlotte, if I had to go in for work, would only be about 30 to 45 minutes. That's what Google says, at least. But it's not far. The distance is about 15 miles. So I think that is about right, for high traffic times. And probably the one of the other driving reasons is that the company that I work for now has an office in Charlotte. So I could essentially go to Charlotte, work from that office, a couple days a week or a couple days a month, still be kind of be within the kind of corporate mix, if you will, and then have an opportunity to get other opportunities within the company. So if whenever you're working remote, I think sometimes you kind of get forgotten and you may not be considered for a promotion just because you're just totally out of the loop, kind of like you're all on your own. You're not in the office where everyone else is, so it's kind of hard to kind of consider you for a promotion. And also the other thing is that if something should happen in my company where things have changed and they now need everyone to work in an office and not from home, then I would definitely need, that office would be right there where I could say, okay, I'll work from this office. So Charlotte is high on my list right now, really high, top of my list. As I said, I'm looking in that Huntersville, Highland Creek area. all that area that's like just above Uptown. I have to get used to saying that. Is what I'm considering. So if you're living in that area, if you could give me any insights, please leave it in the comment box below. Also, if you have any suggestions for me, please leave it in the comment box below. It's an exciting time, but it's also nervous. It's nerve-wracking. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of crazy, you know what I mean? Like thinking of getting up from here where I've lived for 20 years. I've lived within a 2-mile radius of my house. Moved about 5 or 6 different times, but I've always lived within a 2-mile radius of where I live right now. So, you know, it's going to be a big change, and we'll see. So I said, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I appreciate you guys watching all the videos, man. I'm getting so much comments, so much messages, and I really appreciate it. So guys, I'll see you in the next video. Also have some exciting news about a Craigslist alternative, so stay tuned for that. All right, talk to you guys soon. See you in the next video. Peace.